just with the improvement in the offense over the past couple of weeks, what have you kind of seen as the kind of the steps y'all are taking on that end?
It's a number of things. I think the buy-in from our players is extremely important, which they're doing. For us as a coaching staff, making sure that we continue to evaluate where we are as a team and pulling out what's most important. And so our guards rebounding is important so that we can get out and play a little faster. Our spacing, our ability to attack the paint and kick out for threes. We definitely want to shoot more threes because we shoot it at a good percentage. So I think those are some of the factors that's tying into the reason that our offense is taking off. And then, we're healthy.
And we asked you a little bit after the last game, but with a little time to digest, what did you just think about Zion on the ball a little bit more and how those possessions went?
We liked what we saw. We like the ball in his hands, especially early. And then as the game progresses, he usually comes out and then the ball goes to BI a bit more. So we're still figuring out our team, and that's something that we figured out after watching film and seeing what's best for our group, and it seems to work so far.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, both those guys are good with the ball in their hands. How do you just balance? We want to make, get you involved, but we don't want to just forget about you or anything like that.
You're right, and that's the key. Is for us is trying to balance it, and so we're trying to go more Z early, more BI. After the first 5 minutes, and we'll continue to look at it. And if it works, we'll stick with it. If it doesn't, we'll continue to adjust.
But just one of the reasons in going more to Z with the ball in his hands, because his teammates really seem to shoot the outside shot really well.
It is. It's putting the ball in his hands early in the game, allowing CJ, BI, Herb to feed off his gravity. He does a great job of finding his teammates. Him and Brandon both do it. And, he also gets to the basket, gets to the free throw line.
You mentioned some areas that the team's been playing well in, but what other areas would you like to see them progress in still?
We just talked about it as a group, but, we've had a number of so-called big games against some really good opponents that we just haven't played our best basketball, and we want to be better in that area. When we play against the top-tier teams, we want to measure ourselves and see where we are, and we haven't been where we want to be. So we got another good team coming up tomorrow night where we want to take care of our home floor.
What is it going to take against OKC?
Consistency. Not coming into the game and having moments where we're not consistent for 48 minutes, and it starts with our effort.
And not to divulge any kind of secrets, but how do you beat them? Because it looks like they're tops in half-court offense, defense, and in transition, both ends of the floor. They really have no weaknesses.
Well, I don't think that, meaning you said secret. I don't know if it is a secret to beating them. I think you have to come in the game, like I said, with the right mindset that we're going to outwork, outcompete. We're going to play together, and they'll make some runs. When they do, those are the moments that I talked about before, is we have to continue to overtrust in the things that we work on and each other.
And we asked you after the game about the decision to put Larry in coming out of halftime with the starting group. I guess what did you kind of see after getting a chance to sit back and look at it, and how that kind of worked out?
It's a short template so far, so we'll continue to evaluate what it looks like. And really for us, we just want to continue to try to help our first unit, and sometimes implementing Larry or getting guys out early will help that group.
And I've asked you before about your evolution as a coach. Do you think now in year 3 you're more willing to try unconventional stuff like that, or try some different looks that maybe you wouldn't have been so willing to do in year 1?
For sure. I think having the luxury of having as many guys as we do that can come in and contribute gives me the opportunity to be more flexible in those areas. But I definitely want to stay open-minded to what helps this team win games.
Is it an art to figuring out how to get your combinations and your rotations just right when you have so much to work with?
I think it is. It's a bit of feel that comes with it, over-communicating with our players so they understand the why. Sometimes we do things and you want them to be on board, so explaining the why, making sure we get feedback. It's a little bit of science too, and watching some of the numbers. So you factor all of that information in, and it helps you make some of the decisions that you feel.
How often do you have to be mindful of that over communicating part, whether it be Larry and JV or Jose and Hawk or that kind of stuff?
I'm very mindful of it. I don't think I could do it enough. Matter of fact, there's always improvements on my end to make sure I'm communicating with our team, our staff, and figuring out what's best for our group as we move forward.
And more to Will's question, we know Jonas is one of the best professionals in the league. How did that conversation go with him? Was it easy because he is willing to do whatever it takes, or?
He makes it easier because of who he is. High character, true professional, understands the landscape of where our team is, where he is as a player, and at the end of the day, he wants to win.
Coach, what do you make of what the Thunder have been able to do so far this season with how young a team they are?
They've been playing great across the board, defensively, offensively. They lead the league in, I believe, transition opportunities or transition points. One of the top teams in deflections. They keep teams out of the paint. They got big-time players on their team that can all come in and contribute. So it'll be a good test for us, and we're looking forward to it.